My mother did all this that she can do. My mother was that mother that worked 3 jobs. And then also, whatever she can get help from the state or whatever, she would accept it. But at the same time, she could not really help us in school because my mother didn't graduate from high school. So then eventually I became that hustler, right? So from becoming that hustler.
So what do you mean you say you became that hustler? Eventually
I ended up selling drugs. Because I'm trying to help my mother out. I'm trying to, be the man of the house in a sense. That was just kind of how I started to see things. And then once I had kids, then I even felt like I had to be the bigger man to try to provide and things of that nature. I'm sorry.
No. Let me ask this, just because I want to catch this. So you want to be the father of your house to help your mother out,
right?
And you were a drug dealer, but you were not a drug user.
No, sir. But because it was hard for me to get a job. I lived in Somerset. But at that time, a lot of people used to discriminate just because of the zip code.
Right.
And don't say Somerset.
Right. You say Somerset. At the time, it was called Simpson. When we moved over to Simpson, all the little black kids, eventually moved over to Simpson. And if you use that address, pretty much you would not get a job. My mother tried. It was times that she tried, and I know my mother tried. But then eventually, so she's on Section 8. Section 8 will only allow so much. So if I'm working as a teenager, that still affects what my mother was getting. And she's already struggling.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm sorry, yes, ma'am.
When you were talking about that you started selling drugs because you're trying to help out your mom, I think that's an important piece because I think a lot of times when we think of drug dealers, we're just thinking about these who are trying to tear down society.
No.
So that when they started the war
and we're not justifying drug dealing.
No. But when they started the war on drugs, had they given your mother a living wage job, might that have ended the war?
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because as much as my mother used to try to, hide our struggles, but me being the young man that I am or not, I saw it. I saw straight through it. I knew it was times when my mother couldn't pay the light bills. Yeah. I knew it was times where when our lights was turned off, they magically got turned back on. So because I knew those
in your
things,
name,
huh? No, sorry. We can get
sometimes.
Yeah. We can get deep into that, but that's
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We'll just leave it at that.
Look, we can't tell everything, y'all.
Yeah, we can't put that out there. Yeah, but I mean, because of those types of
struggles, turns 18, now your credit's ruined.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because of those type of struggles. So I'm like, all right, man, what am I going to do? So, next thing, you see people making money. So you're like, all right, well, I know McDonald's is not going to make it happen. Right. At the time, it used to be, we was always talking about you're going to be the next Calvin.
McDonald's is a good job.
Yeah, it's a good job eventually. It's a good job eventually.
Good job.
But at the time, for I guess, for the things that I was trying to achieve, I just didn't see it there.
You trying to be the head of the household.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So I'm steady at that time.
If you're trying to buy bubble gum, you can work at McDonald's.
Exactly.
If you're trying to buy lights and food for your siblings, that's what. Again, not justifying. Right. I want people to see that there are young men who are reputable, who love their mothers, who are getting caught up in the system, right or wrong, because they don't see a better way. They don't see themselves in a different way. There's far too many benevolent drug dealers out there because they're just trying to.
Right. Most of the guys who do sell drugs, believe this or not, are trying to help either their mother or their significant other kids, whatever the case may be. It's not always just about them. It's not that they have not tried to find jobs.
But that speaks to the system that you were talking about. Whatever their motivation was, they ended up in a system.
Right.
They caught a case, and that case now has created new employment challenges. Because of their record, now they can't find a job with a living wage or whatnot, and it creates a whole new challenge. And one of the things that I want us to,
I just want to make sure you finish this point. Just because you got to catch it, come back in. You got to get a plane in a few minutes. I want you to finish this point.
I'll be late. I think.
No, don't be late.
Yeah. So I mean, but I guess the thing about that, because even when because I did go to prison. Luckily for me, that was my first offense. I ended up going through the boot camp program, and so my whole MO was like, all right. I started to look at the bigger picture of things. It was a book my uncle had sent me. It was called Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power, and just talked about just different things that how if we was to just use just a piece of that power that we have inside of us, that we can make something happen that would actually shock us. And so once I got out, my whole thing was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna go ahead and get my HSCD. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to college and get some things underneath my belt to make it harder for someone to tell me no. When I first came home, I had I stayed at a halfway house. I got a LTE position actually at the Capitol. Got hired because I knew how to interview. And so the halfway house told me I cannot work that job. But so after when they told me that, it was either one or two things: either I get upset, act pissed off while I'm here. Hopefully that's okay for me saying that. Yeah, I said it. It's over. Or just keep moving, or just keep moving forward. To just say, okay, look, I'm gonna make sure that my kids are not gonna go back, do the same things I've done. I gotta make something better for them. So I started working at Papa John's Pizza. From Papa John's Pizza, worked at Web Crafters, went back to school, said, okay, all right, let me just go ahead and start jumping into marketing. Because for me, I felt like, hey, marketing eventually, in some sense, that's kind of what I was doing. So I figured I can make something happen from that. So and just kind of went on from there. Then eventually, other doors started opening, but I had millions of doors, or to me, the way I felt, it was millions of doors closed in my face before I made something happen. Like even to this day, pretty much each day that I'm at work, I have at least between 50 calls of just guys who I'm trying to help find jobs. Some are successful, some are not. But at the same time,
tell them how many men you have placed in the last year.
Right now is 109. 109 guys. Wow. And that's in part-time LTE. Wherever there is a position out there, I want to show guys that, look, I know I can do it, you can do it also. So we are making it, So we are making things happen, but at the same time, but again, we have to show guys, don't give up. Don't give up, because so many people are like, man, they're tripping with me at work. I don't have a way to get to work, or I can't do this, or I'm homeless. So, I'm really kind of sleeping in the shelter that they're kicking me out at 6 o'clock in the morning. But, man, I'm trying to walk to work. But if I come back late, then I can't get back in. So, these are all the different issues that we're kind of facing. And the more and more that we face those issues, 9 times out of 10, for some of the guys that either, if you're on drugs, you don't get back out there on drugs because you need something to kind of, in some sense, kind of soothe you. Then for the guys who are steady struggling to get a job, who have sold drugs, you have no other choice in the long run because you don't want to, eventually end up dying out here. So you're going to go back to doing the same thing that you were doing, and then eventually get caught right back up, and then right back in prison. So it's so many things that it's just, I don't know, it's sad. It's sad. And kind of, I'm trying not to get emotional about it because it's just the whole thing, because I've seen it play out again and again, even in my own family. Even, I tell them, like, look, cousin, you know where I've been. Please just let me help you. But at the same time, it's kind of like, hey, I understand where you've been, but I need this now. Yeah. I need this now. I can't wait. And we face that so much. We face that way too much.